Hey guys, welcome back. I'm gonna field one more question. It's a little lengthy, so I'll read fairly quick. I own 3 consecutive residential buildings on a busy road intersection. How would I go about demolishing the property and creating one large commercial space? Basically, the title, I own 3 residential properties on a commercial type road. Think Burger King across the street and Walgreens a block away. The properties are all adjacent and are somewhat deteriorated, but currently have residential tenants in them. What would be the best way to tear down the properties and put something commercial on the land, like a bank or a store? What is the best way to finance this deal? Would it be possible to pre-lease the land before I build it? And if so, what is the best way to do that? And how would I use the pre-lease obtained financing? Any help is appreciated. Well, thank you for that question. I think this is a very thoughtful question. Generally, I have to make some assumptions. I mean, you do have a residential properties. I don't know how the zoning is. I don't know where you're located at, what state or what counties. You have to ensure that even though you demolish that residential properties, that your land is zoned or have a variance or could get rezoned to commercial use, commercial 2T, whatever it may be, to build QSRs or stores or retail, right? Assuming that's all there, and by right that even though you demolish that, you can do commercial. So then one thing good is that if you have residential, you do have power, sewer, water. That's gonna actually reduce some of your construction costs because bringing impact surveys and bringing those utilities are very expensive from a construction perspective. That's a good thing that is going for you. When you want to demolish that, you have to ensure the residentials are all out, that the lease has been expired, then you provide them non-renewal letters saying that you're not going to be renewing their lease. As long as they don't squat and they're amicable people, they move out. And you should be speaking with the city to really design out and talk to city ordinances and building safety people to see the use that you're looking at is going to be provided and approved by the city. So assuming that's all good, you can go ahead and first demolish that property. You probably want to get a demo permit and work with contractors to safely demolish everything and remove the debris. In California, even though when you remove it, they're going to make you recycle things. So it's a little bit costly. It could be if you're in the Midwest, they don't do that. So if you're in the Midwest, think about it as $4 a square foot, demolish the building. So once you do that, you may want to grade and even out, your dirt or pavement, right? So that visually it looks good. Then you should engage an architect to really kind of plan out what you want to build there. So if you're going to build a 5,000 square foot retail, and if it's 5,000, you're going to cut it up into 3. So start planning out those business plans first before you go out to the market. And once you kind of drawn up a rendering or conceptual plans, you might want to engage a commercial leasing agent that is really good in that asset class. For instance, for me, any market I would go, I'll reach out to my contacts at CBRE, JLL, Cushway, Colliers, Lee & Associates, NAI, whoever I know that's going to be the best for that market, and start preparing with them as well too, because they're the local market expert. They're going to be able to give you really good guidance. It's like, we're going to, this market is so high, we're going to have new entering tenants. Or if it's a slower market, but like, it's going to be new build. So additional tenants from other locations going to be looking at your location. So it's kind of like musical chairs. So you need to plan that out. Once that is done, you can have the brokers essentially shop out to Dunkin' Donuts, Wendy's, Papa John's, whatever you want to use, like a dental office, to see if they have an interest in coming into your facility. So then you can garner that. And there's 2 choices you need to really make is you take the blunt of the financial burden and spec build that building, because building's gonna take some time. So even though you go really fast, you get architecture, everything approved, to build a retail 5,000 square foot building, it's gonna be wood frame goes up. It's still gonna take you 6 months, at least 6 months to a year to build that out. And from that point, you have to lease it. So while you're building that out, you could have your leasing agent like CBRE or JLL pre-market that building and start negotiating a letter of intent to prospects. Got it? So once they come in and they pre-negotiate that, your brokers would be able to tell you what the fair market value is in the market. Is it $250 plus triple net? Is it $1.75? Is it $4? So they'll be able to give you some indication what the rental rate should be. Second, you might want to consult with the contractors to see how much it's going to cost to build. Because in a retail asset, you're going to have base rent and triple net. So you got to know what your triple net's going to be. Is it going to be 50 cents a square foot? Is it going to be $1 per square foot? Because those are all going to be pass-throughs to the tenant. So then you're going to have a pretty good budget about how much it's going to cost and how long it's going to take. So at that point, you can go get a construction loan from a lender, regional bank, or credit union that's going to be able to fund you. Secondly, if you already have an LOI in hand, you can go to the financing, but because LOI is not binding, they're not going to be able to utilize the LOI to underwrite the deal and give you financing. Now, if the LOI converted to an actual signed, executed lease, then that makes sense. The executable lease, now the banks can look at that as a bona fide offer, and they could underwrite the deal and probably get you higher debt, a higher leverage. That's what you can do. But typically from a development, they usually get a construction financing, build it, and once they lease it up with the tenants, then they'll take out that construction debt with permanent debt. That's typically how a contractor or construction development players will do it. I hope that answers your question, and we'll post a video on the Reddit. If you have additional follow-up, feel free to follow up with the email to us, and we'll try to help you as much as possible. If you found this content helpful, like, subscribe, add comments. Thank you.